Hey, Mike Bradley here. Hope you're doing well as always. Guitar lesson day today, and you always see a lot of lead guitar lessons, I suppose, on YouTube, and I myself always pretty much kind of, when I do kind of guitar tuition videos on YouTube, I always kind of do, lead stuff, because everyone loves, that's what we all love to do, but 95% of the time when you're in a band and playing music, you are playing rhythm. It's just a fact. Much as we love the widdly diddly, 95% of the time when you're in a band, you're playing rhythm, and then you get a 12 bar, if you're lucky, a 16 bar, or if you've got your own band that you want, a 32 bar solo in a song. And then back to the chorus, usually after a solo, and bada bing, So I thought it might be cool to kind of pay a little bit of attention on a cool little rhythm guitar lesson. And when you think, well, at least when I think of rhythm, a lot of times when you think of really great rhythm guitar players, you think of funk. Not always the case, kind of adding the right amount of texture into a song is a good rhythm part, but to kind of get your chops up, I thought I'll show you just a simple little funky thing which I just kind of came up with, involving some dominant chords pretty much, alright? And probably you saw it at the beginning of this video as well. So the main thing we're going to look at here is all kind of based off a D7 chord. And I'm using the open A position. Now if you don't know that, it's kind of coming from the cage system. So an A7 chord is like that. 2 on the 4th string, 2nd fret with my favourite finger, and then 3rd finger on the 2nd string, 2nd fret. Okay, so that'd be an A7. Now if you do it in this fingering with your 3rd and little fingers instead, so you got that going on, your 1st finger will be free for the bar. And then so the 5th string is the root, the A, we're going to take that shape up so that we got it, the 5th string, D note, sorry, as the root, which would be there, so there's an A7, there would be a bar. If I take it so that the 5th string is the root note on the 1st finger, you've got a D7 chord. Okay, so that's a D7 chord, a bog standard kind of sound going on, alright? And what I'm doing, I'm going to add some little jazzy nuances to the chord. So we're going to do this chord here, so wherever the D7 is, we're bar on the 5th fret, 3rd finger on the 4th string, 7th, little finger on the 2nd string, 7th. We're going to put our little finger just forward a fret, so on the 8th fret, what will then make a D7 sus4 chord. If you don't know the kind of theory of that, don't worry, just know it sounds good. D7 sus4, and then the other chord we're going to do is basically taking our little finger off completely, which would kind of be like a D minor 9 chord. Well, not kind of, it is a D minor 9 chord. Kind of very jazzy. Kind of chord. So that's a D minor 9, so just bar on the 5th fret, 3rd finger on the 4th string, 7th fret. Alright, so you got D7, little finger forward, 8th fret for D7 sus4, and then little finger off completely for D minor 9. What we're going to do for this little rhythm is this 3 bar. Okay, that kind of idea. Now with this, I'm purposely not doing too much of just scratching on the chord. A lot of times, and I find this with pupils and other guitar players, they might do this. And it's too much. It's too much. I mean, that is far too much. Sometimes stuff like that is cool when you're solo, almost soloing or playing by yourself and you've got a constant rhythm going on, but thinking in terms of a band situation, if you're doing this wanking all the time, it's going to be overpowering all the other instruments and the vocals and that in the band, if you're thinking musically that way in the band content. So I'm leaving it out so that you've got a rhythm part, a rhythm guitar part, which is completely in the pocket, which you want, alright? So the part we're going to do, we're starting out on the D sus4, so the little finger on the 8th fret. And you might want to get used to just doing that. And hopefully you can pick that up by hearing it. So I'm going down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. There's the beat. Down, up, down, bum, 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 bum. Okay, so da da da. And this right hand, whenever doing any rhythm, you don't want that. Alright, when you see punk bands and doing all this stuff, you don't want that. You always want to be playing from the wrist, especially in rhythm, when doing rhythm guitar. Always from the rhythm, from the wrist. Alright, so we've got this part here. Then we're going to do this, which is basically exactly the same part for the right hand, except when we go, so we're going from D7 sus4 to D7. Now you're going to take your little finger off, so you've got the D minor, and then you're going to throw your little finger back on to make D7 on the 7th fret. Like that, so you get da 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 da. So let's get used to that. Let's loop that around as much as you can. Now with the right hand again, the main strings I'm hitting most of the time are the 4th, 3rd and 2nd strings. And when I start a new chord, so from all those ups and stuff, first time I hit the downstroke, I'm hitting the 5th string. But sometimes I don't always want that 5th string to ring out because it's too bassy. If I don't hit the 5th string at all, alright, and at the end I hit the 5th string by mistake. So with the 5th string, without the 5th string, without the 5th string. Okay, so you get different sounds by kind of mix and matching it up a bit. So sometimes hit the 5th string, sometimes don't, just so you're putting that bass sound in there, alright? So I didn't hit it there, now I will. So every time you do the, then I'm hitting it. It's tied up to you, whatever you feel, man. And then I did that bit in there. That bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm just putting my little finger on the top 2 strings on the 8th fret. And then I only want those 2 strings ringing out. And then all the main notes that you're hearing come out are upstrokes. That's it, completely slowed down. You got a scratch. Okay. Alright, so the downstroke is doing the ghost notes, the scratch notes, and then the upstroke is doing the actual notes itself. Alright. So really slowly. Bit slower. actually harder, slower to do it. Up to speed. You got that happening, alright? So if the notes aren't coming out completely, it's cool, because that kind of adds that kind of funky Prince kind of sound, you know? First time I do it, second time I do it. You can just have that part if you wanted, just completely just kind of vamp on that and then add your own little ideas around it, cool. In the part I did at the beginning of the video, I kind of just went to an F7 and a G7, doing the sus singing now I think I did, let's see what I do. As you go. So what I did, so when I'm going to go into, before I go into the F chord, instead of doing that 8th fret malarkey thing, I'm doing it on the D7 itself. Doing that. Doing it there. And then I'm going to the F7, so we're taking this humble little shape down to the 8th fret, so the 8th fret of the bar, and 3rd and little on the 4th and 2nd strings on the 10th fret. And then I've got the rhythm there. And then I'm going back and forth from that sus4 to the F7 again. So then little finger forwards, and then back again for F7. See that happening. And then just go forward 2 more frets. You're on the 10th fret of the bar, 3rd and little fingers on the 12th fret, 4th and 2nd strings, and then do the same thing there. And I went back to our little riff on D7. So there you go, just a simple little idea using, like I say, stemming from a dominant chord shape. So if you just did just D7, F7 and G7, it kind of has that kind of folky kind of Beatles kind of thing going on about it, you know. But by finding that the 7th, no, D minor 9, which is very jazz, this is almost Robin 4 jazz. Actually I think it's in a Robin 4. In the Robin 4, I think, was it Help the Poor? I think that D minor 9's in. Anyway, I digress. But yeah, by throwing in those little colour notes on the D7, you go from folky Beatles-esque kind of sounds to Prince sounds. You know, the, what was it, 1999, or was it keys in F, I think. It's kind of doing that sus4 malarkey going on there. So if it's good enough for the purple one, it's good enough for us, mere mortals. So one more time. So there you go, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed that, and it kind of gives you something new to work on, which isn't trying to go. No, know, do that kind of stuff, which is cool, and that was clean. I don't think I did a mistake. But yeah, you know, it's just something different, and like I say, it's really important to get your rhythm chops up to scratch as well as your lead playing, you know, because that will get you the gig, basically, you know. So let me know what you think. Leave a message in the comment section below. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. And I've also got a Facebook page, so like me in that as well, and you can see all my rants and raves and pictures of new guitars, which this bad boy is. And if you're wondering the tone, I had the fourth position, so I had the middle pickup and this really cool P90, which I'm getting used to as I've had this guitar for 2 days. But check out, I'm sure there'll be many videos, and there'll be a video coming soon on this new thing by Fret King Guitars, which I'm now endorsed by. Yay! But anyway, thanks a lot guys, thanks for all your support, and I'll see you soon. Mike Bradley signing out.